In this video, we're going to talk about what self-worth is, how it is different from self-esteem, important to know. We're going to be doing a workshop exercise, and that is a quiz that I want you to join in on. Self-worth is the internal sense of feeling worthy, of feeling valuable, of knowing and believing that you have an important place in the world and in your life. No matter what happens in your day, no matter what challenges, achievements, or failures we experience, our self-worth is more of a constant. That is, we still believe in our worth and our value. We might feel a little bit bruised or let down for a time. However, it's a part of us. And this is a really important concept. It is what allows us to go through life and, have those bumps in the road and those unwavering difficulties and unforeseen challenges and still be able to stay the course, rise above, and thrive. We're going to talk about self-worth in its sister concept, self-esteem. Self-esteem is really the confidence that happens, that builds through your achievements, through your accomplishments, and that helps to grow your self-worth. Because self-esteem relies on external factors such as your achievements and your successes, it can waver depending on what you're experiencing in your life. And self-esteem can feel inconsistent if you struggle with low self-worth. I feel like all of the clients I work with, on some invariable way, we all talk self-worth, and it shows up in our work together. One of the things we can do, and think of it as a success, it's very important that we do this. That is, continue to build our self-worth through our life. We're going to talk a little bit more about how to do that, how to continually build and grow and expansively, lovingly appreciate our self-worth. And in so doing, you're going to feel as though you truly are unstoppable. You're going to feel a greater sense of confidence and value in who you are as a human being, as a being of love, and in all that you can do in your life. So let's dive into this together. I'd love to leave with a quiz, actually, because this is something that gives you a bit of a marker as to how high your self-worth is at this current moment. And I'll give you the scoring for this quiz so that you can, based on your scoring, let me know, and I will send out some recommendations for you inside the Juno app for you to listen to and look at that will help build your self-worth. Think of this as we start. When a child does something wrong, a parent can correct and discipline them depending what it is and focus on the action, or a parent might name the child to be inherently wrong or bad or not good enough. When a child receives consistent messaging that they're somehow not worthy, not good enough, and remember, a lot of that messaging comes to us because our parents hold those messages of themselves. They're teaching what they live. So the child grows up to question their worth, to doubt in their worth. And that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to give you the scoring first. So we've got 10 questions and one bonus question. The scoring is as follows. You're going to give yourself 5 points for every answer that you respond with absolutely or strongly agree. 3 points for every answer that you would say sometimes or occasionally. And 1 point for every answer that you would say is not at all or that you disagree. The first question in our self-worth quiz is this. I don't feel the need to prove or defend myself in certain situations or around certain people. Think about whether that is something that you strongly agree with, and therefore give yourself 5 points. You sometimes or occasionally agree with this, or not at all, you disagree with this. Question number 2. In comparing myself to others, I do not feel unease, awkwardness, or less than. Again, think about if you agree strongly, absolutely with this statement, give yourself 5 points. If you sometimes agree, you get 3 points. And if you disagree, that is not at all, you get 1 point. All right, number 3. I do not engage in unhealthy or self-sabotaging behavior. Strongly agree, absolutely. 5 points. Sometimes or occasionally, you would say, 3 points. And you disagree with this statement, 1 point. All right. Number 4, I am not self-loathing, self-critical, nor do I engage in negative self-talk. Think about your answers there. Number 5, my self-worth is not impacted by persistent or ongoing anxiety and or depression. Strongly agree, that's a 5. Sometimes agree with this statement, a 3, or not at all, a 1. Number 6, I do not prioritize the needs and feelings of others at the expense of my own. I strongly agree, that's 5 points. I sometimes or occasionally agree with this, 3 points. I disagree, 1 point. Number 7, I can say no to requests when I am feeling overwhelmed. Strongly agree, 5 points. Sometimes or occasionally, 3. I disagree, 1 point. All right, number 8. I feel inherently valuable as I am, not because of anything I have done or achieved. The heart of self-worth. Strongly agree, that's a 5. Sometimes agree with this statement, a 3, or not at all, a 1. Number 9, I find it easy to forgive myself for perceived mistakes, and I make efforts to learn from them. Strongly agree, 5. Sometimes, 3. I disagree, 1. Number 10, I easily practice self-compassion and self-kindness. Strongly agree, 5. Sometimes or occasionally agree, 3. And if you disagree with that statement, 1 point. And here's a bonus question for you. Here we go. I take time for self-care and prioritize my well-being. Strongly agree, 5. Sometimes you do this, 3 points. You disagree, you don't do this, 1 point. All right, add up your scores. We've got 10 plus one bonus question. If you scored somewhere between 41 and 55, you have a strong and well-developed sense of self-worth. You tend to forgive your shortcomings and celebrate your strengths, and you know how to prioritize your well-being. And the action plan of this is to continue to nurture your positive self-worth. It's something that I want you to feel good about working on for the rest of your life, because that's how we continue to feel amazing and supported, self-supported in our life. All right. If you scored 21 to 40 inclusive, here's what your results say. Whilst you might experience self-doubt sometimes, you are on the right track. And I want you to continue to challenge negative perceptions and thoughts and focus on your personal strengths. Use your personal strengths as mantras and focus on them in meditation practice so that you can continue to flourish and grow self-worth. And if you scored between 1 and 20, there is room for growth, of course, in your self-worth journey. I want you to explore the resources here on coaching and therapy. You can reach out and book a session with myself. And certainly I can curate some content around self-love, self-worth, self-respect, dignity, all of that beautiful, beautiful content that will, as you listen to it, as you read upon it, it will give you ideas for how you can practice greater self-worth. And we're going to talk about some of those ideas and practices right now. So I hope you found that to be interesting, enlightening. We're going to talk about unconditional self-worth next, because that's really what I want to focus you on. I want you to think about your self-worth as unconditional. We talk about unconditional self-love a lot. Unconditional self-worth is a second grounding place for you to live in your life. And if you struggle with feeling love for self, reverence for self, it is because you are also struggling with self-worth. Just to know that, to name it for yourself is important, because it's then that you can grow and nurture your self-worth. Unconditional self-worth is the knowledge that you deserve to be alive, to be loved and cared for, to be respected, to have a place that you deem yourself important as worthy. Unconditional self-worth is a solution to self-criticism and shame and self-sabotaging or unhealthy behaviors. Unconditional self-worth provides a path out of depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Think about if you struggle with any of these that I've mentioned: addictions, substance abuse, anxiety, depression. These are all symptoms of a deeper, originating, rooted issue of self-worth. And so you can begin to see how self-worth is really the basis for what we grow and become, right? And again, there have been times in all of our lives, even if we've lived in a home growing up where our needs were given to us and we were encouraged and given lots of love and positive affirmations, there's still going to be moments, our parents are not perfect, where they failed to do that. And so we're going to have moments of self-doubt, and we'll hear criticism, we might hear negative self-talk, we might experience things at school that really cause us to question our abilities or our worthiness. And certainly if in our family of origin we felt less important than other siblings, if we were treated differently from our siblings, if there was gender bias in our family of origin, if our needs weren't heard or met, that all plays into self-worth. And when we talk about trauma, I believe truly that each one of us has experienced traumas. We all have a different synthesis or our scope of what distills of trauma is going to be different for everyone. That is, our level of being able to weather the storm of trauma will vary depending on many of our inner resources. However, trauma is another way in which our self-worth becomes eradicated. And if we don't have the means or the tools or the guidance, support, love, encouragement to rebuild after a trauma, after a tragedy, after loss, after grief, after suffering, then we're left to pick up the pieces on our own. We're left to deal with situations on our own, and it's highly unlikely that a child is going to be able to adequately reconcile everything. Most of the time we push forward, we need to carry on, and so some of that just gets left, and yet it still affects us as we're growing, as we move into adulthood and live our lives. So self-worth, if you can begin to feel how important it is for you, I think we can all definitely feel more supported and more loved and more confident as we look to resources that can grow our self-worth. Regardless of the score you may have today, think about the score you want. Think about the way in which you want to feel greater self-worth, unconditional self-worth. So please do have a look when we post this video. We will also put out resources for you to grow self-worth at any level and at all levels, because we are all deserving of feeling worthy and loved and lovable. I'm going to leave you with a question here, and it's one that I hope you will use as a journal prompt for yourself. And the question is, what would you have the courage to do if you felt unconditional self-worth? In our month here inside the Juno app, we've been exploring ways to live life to the fullest. 30 days of living abundant. And I hope that you will continue to practice this belief in the limitless possibilities, undeniable reverence and love of self that's available here and also for you. And a few messages here as we close to help you feel inspired in your self-worth journey. Self-worth is you. Finding your worth is being who you are. It also means seeking to obtain the presence of your inner self, your inner light, and the soul consciousness that you are as energy and life. For this pure expression of you is awe-affirming and so very special. The pureness that you are and your willingness to appreciate this, to be able to put on blinders at times when necessary and place the focus here and unto yourself, and to know that if you seek more, it's because you're feeling greater self-worth. It's because you're feeling more deserving, more worthy of what it is you want. And it's another, and to desire more, to want to live a bigger, more full and rich life, to be expansive and abundant is part of what life is about. We have these expansive desires and choices and opportunities and ways of healing and possibilities. And it's important to say yes to all of that. The more you say yes, the more you want to improve yourself. That is an inherent sign of growing self-worth. You must feel worthy in order to feel most alive in your life. I'll leave you with a little motto and a healing mantra as we close. Your motto is, I can be me in love and reverence of all that I am. So think of it as, I can be me. I can be me. I'm good. I'm good with me. I'm good at being me. And a healing mantra for you. I hope you will use this in your morning practice and meditation, looking at your reflection in a mirror, Maybe you recite this a few times and hold the feelings of these words. I unveil all of my goodness. I live as my highest self in physical form. I embody self-worth, worthiness, for I am incredible as I am. A little takeaway homework. Bring to light all of the ways that you are valuable and of worth. I'm saying name these for yourself. Bring them into the forefront of your life, and you do this by reflecting on each of the ways that you feel valuable and worthy as you are. Reflect upon these, bring these into your meditation practice. Allow yourself to visualize how you are already worthy and valuable. And this is how your feelings of self-love flourish. Life experiences will nourish you. They will enable you to flourish in the ways that are possible and probable. All that you have to do is embrace each moment in front of you and choose all moments towards the infinite possibilities you seek and know of your deserving nature. Say yes to more of what is right for you. Be able to say no to what is not right for you. Discerning that, giving yourself a path, a clear path, and being able to hold your place in this world, in this life, as someone of significance and worth is going to change the way you live your life. Thank you so much. I will see you inside the Juno app for more. Namaste.